genuinely hot news.
Leaving the industry because of the mandatory COVID jabs, which then goes.
Yeah.
There's no help for them in that. So you think, well, hang on a minute, how is this hope?
People need to know.
Because by Russia, we always thought the deadline was today. I thought it was all done and dusted.
They get it in.
They get a lot more, because the VAT stays there, and so they get, actually, I think, for people who are on universal credit and are choosing between heating and eating, is £1 billion that Labour and Rachel Reeves have been asking for on the oil companies. It appears that was never going to happen, but there was an awful lot of pressure, and he's going to have to answer those questions so far, put it that way, of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Give us some of those really astounding facts.
Well,
know why?
Right.
Exactly. It's because unity without those other nuclear powers, then where do we stand? It's got to come back in now. We've got to decide as an international community that we're not just waiting for Russia's next. A lot of people, a drop in living standards means going below the line of what's sustainable in your life. It's making real electricity for some sort of medical equipment they've got in their homes. These are awful decisions.
Good morning, it's just gone 6 o'clock. Welcome to the programme. It was an extraordinary day yesterday, I felt, Ranvir, with weather-wise. First time in months we've been able to go outside in T-shirt and shorts and feel like you're not just braving it because you feel like the sun's out, you've got to do it.
I felt a bit warm on the way then. Don't start.
But the point was, you're out and about and you're feeling like... The sun's on your skin. Laura's brought brilliant weather for us. And then Rishi Sunak stands up and you're getting the spring statement. And it felt like, of all the expectation and hope for a lot of people, didn't quite transform in terms of what he was telling us.
Well, it certainly didn't, and you can see it in all the newspapers this morning. You know, biggest fall in living standards since the 1950s. Plenty of newspapers saying it's too little, too late. And when we talk about...
To £1 billion.
To £1 billion. If you compare that to what a £20 uplift would have given each household on machinery that keeps their partners alive at night. You know, they're worried about the electricity going off.
Self-employed carer who has 4 clients that he has to drive to each and every day. The fuel duty. 5p's been taken off fuel duty. That's taken us back to what the price was last week. I mean, you know, I know that the Chancellor's trying, but I think when the Daily Express, which has been one of the Tories' biggest supporters, front line is the forgotten millions say, what about us? And that's one of those key things that I think that will resonate, hopefully, with the...
Other papers, the Daily Mail, now slash taxes even further, amid warnings of a record squeeze. What did you feel once you heard what the Chancellor had to say when you're waking up this morning? And I think that for some of us, certainly, there's been a period of time in which you can maybe delay the fear because you're thinking, well, the national insurance hike hasn't come in yet.
Not yet.
We can see that the bills are about to go up. We know that there's more bills going up in October, but we've got this statement, maybe something. And now I'm afraid the axe has come down and we know where we are now. There's nothing else in it for us now.
As Valerie says here, I think that Rishi Sunak has no understanding of the pressure we're all under. I fail to see how he's helping in any meaningful way. 5p off fuel really is an insult of a few pounds. Not to for district nurse. We've had so many people from the care industry who have said they have to use their cars to get to their clients. They can't turn around to their clients who can barely pay them anyway and say, I need some more money because I've got to pay my fuel bills to get here. And they can't say, I can't get there. They love their job. They want to look after the people
taken away. So the industry is already struggling. So this morning we're talking about those who are most vulnerable in our society and what's going to happen there. Because Britain, as we're saying, it's on all the papers this morning, we are heading for our biggest fall in living standards since records began. This isn't back in the 1950s. This warning comes from the Office for Budget Responsibility. Yesterday, the Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, hoped to soften the blow with his spring statement. There were cuts to national insurance and cuts to tax on petrol, as we heard.
However, the critics have said that the Chancellor just hasn't gone far enough to help those really feeling the squeeze, but instead targets better off workers. Here's some reaction from some of those people that we spoke to after Rishi's statement.
Yeah, well, let's speak to Lorna Shaddock, who's at Down.